Hey guys, this is Reed with Rapid Response Training, doing a quick video here tonight on this rifle. So, doing a rifle setup video. Everybody loves all the gear stuff, so figured I'd do that. Also, I had the gun out because I've had the first problem ever, so figured I'd mention that as well. So anyway, I'll go tip to butt as is standard on internet gun stuff. So A2 flash hider, surprisingly, if you believe the internet, this is like one of the best flash hiders out there, and it's like nobody cares, but it works real good. The barrel is one of my least favorite parts about this gun. So it's a heavy barrel. I got this, well, all right, the whole gun itself, this is a home build Delton kit. Okay, what's Delton? Super budget build from 15, 20 years ago or something. I don't even really know if they're still around, but I got it way back when I was young and thought I knew stuff. I was like, there's only 5 forges, bro. It's just as good. It's mil-spec. So I got this, but luckily it's actually worked really, really good. So I wouldn't suggest somebody go quite as budget as I did for their first gun, or when it's going to be your only gun, but it worked out for me. So that's the gun. Yeah, so anyway, the barrel, least favorite part, because it's a heavy barrel, right? So this, again, back when I didn't know, and I'm like, oh, 5.56 223 wears out barrels so fast, like I'm gonna get a heavy barrel so it lasts longer, and that's kind of nonsense. So like, yeah, you can shoot a barrel out, but you have to shoot so much to shoot a barrel out that like you're already spending thousands on ammunition. So what's a couple $100 for a barrel? Like if you're shooting that much, it doesn't matter, right? Like you can get it rebarreled, not a problem. So anyway, it's a heavy barrel, but I'll just lift more weights, no problem. But another issue, it's a 1 in 9 twist. So that's not gonna stabilize the heavier bullets. Now, 1 in 9 will stabilize 55 and 62 grain, which most people shoot anyway. So whatever, no problem. That's what I do. So that I wish was different, but that is what that is. So coming back, the standard F front sight post, clamped onto it. You can see a little rail section. It's a Midwest product. I don't know what it's called, but it's a rail section. It clamps onto your front sight post. It gives you a little bit of pick rail, and it gives you some QDs, which is awesome. Like it is just enough without giving you anything you don't need, right? So as you can see on the left side, because I'm going to shoot this rifle right-handed, I have this weapon light here. It is a Cloud Defense Rain. This is the first one, the Generation 1. This is actually, I got this before they were released because I bought it from the Cloud guys as a pre-release in a class that they were in. So that's why I like Cloud. They train, their products are dope. This one I love because it's like super, super robust, right? So gymungulus tool steel bezel, user interchangeable lenses if this breaks, and it's a lot of light. The color is good, the spill is good, the throw is good, all of it's good. Like, does it get outperformed by some other stuff? Sure, but I mean, if we're already at 90%, it's like, well, mine's 95%. All right, dude, great. Your light's better than mine. So that's what that is. Buy gear from people who train. That's, yeah. So front sight, if you can see it, maybe, is a XS front stripe. So that's a front sight post that is white in the middle, so it's easier to see, and then it's got a tritium insert in there. So this rifle started its life with iron sights only. Didn't have an optic. I was saving for an optic, so having a night sight was super cool. And I mean, I think it's kind of dope anyway. So, it's old, it still glows, which is awesome too, because eventually that's going to die. But for now, it's great. So, going back to the front sling attachment, as you can see here, it's paracorded on. The QD, unfortunately, I don't have enough room with this light mount this is the pick rail light mount that the Rain comes with. I think they all come with it unless you request otherwise, but I'm not a Rain expert. They hooked me up when I bought this and like gave me some extra stuff with it. So, and no pressure switch. Their pressure switch is awesome. I have the pressure switch, but I just have the tail cap. So, I mean, as you can see here, round hand guards, could I figure out a way to mount it? Yeah, but why? So, I mean, I can hit this swing out of the sling here. Obviously, I can hit it that way, and I can do the old Costa guy if I have to switch hands and shoot this left-handed. So, no problem. Anyway, but yeah, because of this light mount, the light, how it all fits together, I can't use this QD, so whatever. I got it paracorded on there. Blue Force gear like U-loop would be better, but I didn't feel like paying for it, and this works fine. So it's just paracorded on there. The sling is a Blue Force gear Vickers sling, 2-point. I'm a 2-point supremacist. I will die on that hill. Although I think pretty much everybody's kind of come over to that side. Anyway, so round head guards, vibes, and they have heat shielding in them. I wouldn't hate having a hand stop or something here, but unless I can do it for cheap or free, I'm not worried about it. Basically, everything on this whole gun has been bought for a significant discount. So I'm not trying to spend a whole bunch of money to optimize a budget gun. So coming back, nothing really to say. It's all the parts and pieces are the parts and pieces. They came in it. The trigger's the trigger. It has had the surfaces touched up a little bit with a jeweler's file. Probably would not recommend that to like anybody. I had a buddy help me build this who was pretty experienced. But yeah, I wouldn't tell anyone else to do that. Aimpoint PRO, I think it's in a Midwest quick detach mount. You wouldn't need this one. The one that it comes with is like quick detach enough. So this one's a little quicker, whatever, who cares? It's a good optic, and it's the budget optic from Aimpoint, so it's gonna work. So rear sight is a carry handle that was cut down with a hacksaw. So I wanted a super robust sight since this started its life with iron sights only. So that's why it's not a folding rear sight. Also, like, who cares if the rear sight's folding when the front isn't folding, right? So there's already going to be stuff in your way. Just ignore it, which is what I do. So when I use the optic, I completely ignore the sights. I don't even notice them. But if for some reason the battery goes out or it stops working or the switch gets bumped, right? Like, it's all I have to do is like look for that front sight post. So like really fast there. Let's see. I switched out the trigger guard for the Magpul because when you're shooting without gloves, it was really annoying me with the on my knuckle there. So switched out the pistol grip of the Magpul. I got this from my buddy for $1. He did some stippling. I don't care, but it's fine. I did take some of it down. That was bothersome with a file, but whatever, no problem. Let's see. PMag, Cor Bon Urban Defense, which is like unobtainium now, but this is my primary rifle, and that's my preferred home defense because it's going to give me really good terminal performance on bad guys, get them to stop doing what it is they're doing, namely like invading my house. And ideally, you know, it's going to do really good at not over penetrating. So obviously that is always going to be a problem with any kind of ammo you run. Yeah, birdshot too. But not that you should use that, but that's what people think, right? So you can over penetrate with anything, but this is a good balance there. So what else? End plate is a Magpul with the guy on there for the single point sling, because I used to think single point slings were cool and I was wrong. So that is probably going to get switched, and I'll tell you why here at the end. So at the back, Magpul, or the B5 stock. I think this might be a fake, to be honest. I bought it used from a guy. I don't know enough about him to really know if it's fake, but I mean, whatever. It's a stock, it adjusts. I like it better than the M4 stock that came on it. So that's what that is. And then I've got the sling attached on the right side here, because if I need to switch hands or switch shoulders, right? So I can switch shoulders without switching hands, switch hands all the way. I'm not choking myself with the sling. So that's why it's on the left front, right rear, in case you're wondering about that. Mount it to the front and the rear of the gun, in my opinion. I was told that one time, never really understood why, but it works really, really good. If I plan on like fighting with this gun, I just wear it like this. I just necklace it, right? And I can do everything I need to do. I can run high port. I can run a high ready. Oh, just ND my light there. There we go. I can run a high port, a high ready, which is not, you know, if I was wrapped up in this, kind of not really the case. Like, yeah, could I loosen that sling? For sure. Sure, of course I could. But anyway, it's good for that. I can swim out of it, right? If I need to be out of the sling for whatever reason. A lot of people advocate fighting out of the sling, which I think in certain contexts makes a ton of sense. And I can swim back into it like no problem. And then also I can backsling this gun because of the sling attachments. It's like super, super fast and easy to backsling this gun, get out of my way, because I needed to like do stuff with my hands, like pick up something big and heavy and not have my rifle like smashing around, or treat an injury, whatever, you know, take a piss. So I like all the way at the back on the right, or for a right-handed shooter, I'll say that. You lefties, you know, do, I don't know what you guys do, but probably reverse. But right on the rear, left on the front, all the way at the back and the front of the gun. So the only this rifle, like I said, super budget gun. I've had it for probably, I've been training for like 10 or 11 years, and I've had the rifle for probably 9 or 10 years, and it's been through somewhere between 5 and 10 classes. I should have looked this up before I did this video, but whatever. You get what you pay for. So it's been through 5 or 10 classes, so probably somewhere between 5 and 10,000 rounds. Now, I would say it would be more than that, except not every class I shot this gun the whole time. Sometimes I use another gun because I want to test all my stuff, right? So probably between 5 and 10,000 rounds. I don't think I've ever had a malfunction that wasn't magazine related. So I'm very, very happy. Now, I just got finished taking small unit tactics at Tactical Response, and this gun did break. So now, it still didn't malfunction. The gun kept working. I didn't notice it was broken until I got home and went to put it away. Okay, so the gun still works. I can shoot right now and it'll work. Not that I will, because that will be loud and frowned upon legally. But here's the problem. Here's what broke. So, if you know anything about guns, that ain't supposed to happen, right? So, one of several things has happened, or, you know, whatever. The receiver end plate failed, the buffer tube failed, both of them failed, or the lower. I don't think it's the lower. I hope it's not the lower. That's going to be a huge pain. But I think one of those things failed, because that's not supposed to twist. And the easy answer everybody thinks of is the castle nut. And I was hoping it was a castle nut, but when I do that, castle nut does not move. It was properly torqued and it's still staked. So I don't think it's the castle nut. So I got my armorer's wrench here, about to do some investigating. And so this won't be my primary rifle for as long as it's taken apart. But probably whatever ends up having failed, I will probably replace. So it's probably getting a new buffer tube, probably getting a new end plate. And if I'm doing both of those, I may as well throw a new castle nut on too. But not totally sure. I need to open it up, or not open it up. I have opened it up. I need to take all this off and inspect it and see what gives. But yeah, so I'm not mad. I'm very happy. This gun has it's gone through a lot more than more expensive guns have and kept working. So I'm really happy. I'm gonna fix it, and then obviously I'm gonna function check it and everything. But basically, like, now I trust it even more now that I've identified the failure point and fixed it, right? So yeah, it's rattle canned up, little 5-minute backyard job. It's already wearing off here where the gun rubs up against my body and kit. But who cares? Could use more brown anyway, so might hit it again. But yeah, it's not the sexiest rifle. It's not going to impress anyone on the internet, but it works real good. And I think this is a very basic setup that gives you everything you need, nothing you don't. And yeah, quit overthinking this stuff, guys. Like, clearly this is not before I painted it, I proudly called this the world's ugliest M4. So it's not going to impress anyone. It's not going to win any competitions for aesthetics, but it just works, and I've shot it a lot. So you're like, dude, that's not as good as my BCM. It's not as good as my CAC. Like, whatever, dude. Great. Like, how many classes have you run your nights through? Like, having an expensive gun is not impressive. Train with your stuff, and if you have nice stuff, train with the nice stuff. I don't care. Good for you. And if you don't, train with what you have. And if it breaks, get something that isn't going to break, right? Or, like in this case, fix it. Now, if this happened at round 100, right, or it happened at one round count, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, like every 100 rounds stuff was breaking, like, probably just get rid of this thing, right? But yeah, I'm happy with it. Guys, read with rapid response training. Quit overthinking this gear stuff. Don't be weird.